Sis, when I tell you that I looked on that debate stage and I saw that they had Joe Biden's wig just blowing around in the wind like it's tumbleweed or something. Give me your wig. Give me your wig. It's a new day, so that means it's time for you to wake up. Go to patreon.com/AdrianExpression. My patrons over there, they wanted me to talk about how HBO's Euphoria handles the concept of like depression and mental issues. And I argue that they do a realistic job, even though they don't sugarcoat that shit. It may not be fun to look at, especially how Rue was all like huddled up in the bed and there's trash everywhere. I think they did a good job. So if you want to read that article, go ahead and check it out. Patreon.com/AdrianExpression, like I said. Now, of course, I'm going to talk about the debates a little bit later. Very shallow analysis of some of the things that popped out. Make sure that you go and research these candidates and pick one that has your best interest at heart. But before we get into that, I wanted to talk about two kisses. The first kiss is a kiss that we love to see, we would like to see again, we'd like to see more of. And the second kiss is a kiss we hope we never have to see again. Now, the first kiss is a kiss between Aquaman, I don't know what y'all are calling him this week, and this male Atlantean. I'm sure I'm supposed to know his name. So Aquaman has been confirmed to be at least bisexual in the cartoons. If you kept up with some of the comics, you would already know, you wouldn't be surprised by this revelation. Honestly, in the comic books, he's gay, he's supposed to be gay. So like I said, if you've been keeping up, if you kind of know what's been going on with Aqualad or Aquaman, whatever, this kiss is really not surprising. But it's been a recent episode of Young Justice and people have been talking about it. I'm really happy about it. For those of you who keep up with Young Justice or at least know a little bit about it, you'd understand why I'm so confused, why certain people are so angry about this. It's just like, first of all, you need to be angry at how, and I put this on Twitter, you need to be angry at how they be killing Halo every 10 seconds. I mean, slicing her throat, throwing all types of darts and arrows in her chest. I'm just like, damn near beheading. I'm just like, what's going on, sis? What's the, like, I understand that she has regeneration powers, but she's the only one to catch these bullets for y'all. All right. If y'all call yourself a team, and there's no reason why Miss Halo's taking all the blows, I don't understand what's going on. But whatever. So that's a kiss that we love to see. A kiss that we do not like to see, a kiss that we hope we never have to see again, is this one, and it's not even a kiss, it's more like an assault, is this one between Brad Pitt and Lena Dunham. Now, we all know about Miss Lena Dunham. Are we gonna act like we're surprised about the good sis, about the bad sis? You know, we gotta be careful calling everybody good sis. About the tired sis, about the exhausted sis, about the tragic and trashy sis, we're not surprised. Keep in mind, like everybody has been reminding me on Twitter, she is the same one who went to some event and OBJ was there, Odell Beckham was there, and she just, she got into a rampage because she was not interested in her ass. I'm just like, girl, nobody wants you in that ugly ass spirit. Nobody wants you in that tired ass feeling of entitlement everywhere you go around. I don't know how you have negative levels of talent but expect everybody to kiss your feet. And it's not even just that, it's that you will be aggressively hypersexual and just like, you really give me all types of rapey vibes. And your memoir is called Not That Kind of Girl. That's what your memoir is called. That's what your book is called. And in that book you detail all the weird ways that you sexually experimented, I guess, I don't know, with your sister, sis, all types of molestation going on. Sweetie, it seems to me that you are that type of girl. I don't know who you think you're fooling, but it seems to me that you definitely are. If we're looking for that kind of girl, it definitely would be you. And those are the kind of girls and boys, it don't matter, that I want far away from my energy, my spirit, my space, my force field, my bubble. You hear what I'm saying? Stay away from me. And then it's people like you who get away with this bullshit because it's very poorly masked with this whole, oh, ditzy, oh, I'm a klutz, I don't know no better, I'm just trying to be funny. It's not funny. Nobody's laughing. We're laughing at you, just like your reflection is, I'm sure. Sit your ass down. Oh my god, don't you ever get tired of being a creep? Ugh. So I wanted to give you guys an update. Well, first let me give you an update on ASAP Rocky. Apparently they're going through with this trial, sis. They're going, I mean, they're calling over witnesses. I mean, people are saying, oh no, girl, I saw him throw this person, and no, ASAP Rocky was protecting his bodyguard, and some lawyer laughed like, okay, so who's the actual bodyguard? Anyway, so it's just a whole lot of shit. If you really want to look up the specifics of what's going on, I would suggest that you Google it. But all I'm saying is that like, this trial is happening. Like, it's happening right now. If ASAP Rocky got to act like he's on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and call him some lifelines, I don't know what's going on, but it just seems like there are many lessons to be learned from this. I'm waiting to see the full story that the courts piece together, and we can look through it and see what they say happened and look at their decision. But as of right now, they're just getting more information and witnesses and shit like that. So another update, Caster Semenya, she will not be allowed to defend her title at the World Championships. So she basically, because of the rules of the IAAF, when it comes to, let me see, they stopped the IAAF, they stopped women with naturally high testosterone competing unless they take medication, which she said made her feel constantly sick. And to me, this is so crazy because it's just like, if you measure the genetics, the hormone levels, the maximum physical ability of men on the men's team, of course, you're gonna find variations, you're gonna find a whole lot of difference. And also if you do the same thing with women on the women's team. So it seems like it's very arbitrary the way and the things that y'all picked and choose to measure. Also, it just shows that there needs to be more education on intersex issues, because this is exactly how you discourage people like Castor from even thinking about sports or even competing in the first place. So I think this situation could have definitely been handled better. So I want to get into the debates for just a little bit, but before I do, since we're already in this political gear, let's talk about now Trump does say a lot of foolish things at every rally that he goes to, and I try, like I said, I really do try not to give him too much and not to give him too much space on my platform, but some of this shit I just cannot ignore. He said a whole bunch of shit. I mean, even he was talking about, oh, we got you blacks jobs, and apparently someone said that they all turned in the rally, turned to a group of black Trump supporters and clapped in their face, like, whoa, good job, yay for the niggers with jobs. Anyway. So apparently the other thing that happened at this is a Trump rally in Ohio. The other thing that happened was that he said, we will be ending the AIDS epidemic shortly in America and curing childhood cancer very shortly. So I'm just wondering what the time frames are for shortly. Are we talking about 100, 200 years? We talking about half a century? So it's like, Trump, I just want to know the time. Let me solve for X, and X equals shortly. Shortly equals how many months, sis? If we're doing, I was not good at math, but I can at least, if you give me the constants, I can at least solve for that X. You know what I mean? I can solve for that equation. What does shortly mean, sis? Sis told y'all that she was going to be over here solving the AIDS epidemic. And not only that, because that was hard enough to do, but I guess he said he was gonna keep trekking, and he said, oh no, we're gonna get childhood cancer too, girl. All right, girls, and I'm talking about his base was over here clapping, and sometimes he said this shit. Sometimes I wonder, I'm just like, do his staff just like, all right, just say this shit and we'll see how far we can go with these people. It's just like, damn, I wonder if he said the sky is green and Mars is half an hour away from slamming into the planet, I wonder if they would believe his ass. Well, that's if they ain't flat earthers in the first place, but I'm telling you, I'm wondering every day now, I'm wondering if his staff just gets him there and says, hey bitch, just push it a little further. Just push it a little further, because the more bullshit that you spew, the more leeway that gives us, more freedom that gives us to just say anything we want up here. I hate it. So I'm not gonna run through everything that was said on the debate stage. Y'all already know that. I'm not gonna go over here sit and play-by-play type of tease. I'm not no game commentator, and that shit was hours and hours long. But honestly, if we're gonna be real, I think the whole purpose of this debate, night 2 of the debate, was to go ahead and tear down Joe Biden's credibility. Oh my gosh. Joe Biden was getting attacked from all angles. Like, I don't know if he was playing Battleship or some shit. It was just, they got the coordinates for his ass. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened, but he was just like, every time he tried to speak, he said, you want me to do it again? He said, every time he tried to speak, says, I don't know what's going on. And neither did Joe Biden. I mean, they were dragging that healthcare plan. Kamala Harris, y'all been saying I've been pronouncing this woman's names wrong, but it's okay because she locked up 1,000. What did Toasty say? 1,500? 1,500 motherfuckers for weed while she was over here laughing about smoking weed on the Breakfast Club. But let me tell you, Miss Gabbard, I think she's a plant from the right, because if you look at how she was over here saying, well, the government found that Trump was not colluding with Russia, and you know what that means? It's just not a bad thing. That means we need to just come together and stop trying to defy. I was like, whoa, Tulsi, you doing, Miss Gabbard, I don't know where you came from, but sis, you might need to go back. Now, let me tell you something. A debate is a debate, okay? Just because I get hyped off of Kamala Harris dragging the shit out of Joe Biden, or Tulsi dragging the shit out of Harris, does not mean that I can't see through all the bullshit that they try to present to us. It's just like, girl, yes, you might have debated your way through this night, but your policies and your past is still fucked up. So I don't know what to tell you. This whole night, since Biden is hanging on for dear life, in my opinion, I gotta look at the polls and be honest, but in my opinion, he's hanging on for dear life. Probably not with older black people, because I don't know how, you know, 65 and plus, they still sitting on Biden. Hanging on for dear life off of his name and Obama's name. So they were just like, okay, sis, You want to hang off with Obama's legacy? Let's talk about it. What about these deportations that Obama was doing? Joe Biden's like, well, I keep my recommendations private to the president. It's just like, sis, that's not a good enough answer, girl. They were dragging healthcare plans. I mean, even Cory Booker had this whole Kool-Aid moment, which I thought was a little corny, but I'm gonna let it slide. I'm gonna even be dipping in the Kool-Aid and don't even know the flavor. I was like, all right, Cory. But I mean, it worked. The point worked because Biden was over here trying to say, oh, your police department was so fucked up and the shit was going on. And Cory Booker was like, girl, do you know I was over here trying to clean up the mess that you made with that fucked up ass crime bill? Like, what are you doing? I mean, and he did not have no solid answers. I'm sorry. And he knew that, and he was losing his train of thought, and it was all around bad for Mr. Biden. So I'm hoping that somebody else can overtake him, somebody that I like. Oh my goodness. And I thought I liked, not for the presidency, but what's her name? Marianne Williamson, but I did a little bit more research and found out she has some really crazy beliefs. I don't know, she thinks that love will cure HIV and shit. I was just like, okay, I need to do more research on her ass, even though it's not really necessary because she ain't gonna win shit in my but sis might have to be canceled for me. Now, like I said, I don't like Miss Gabbard, but the way that she went after Kamala Harris and she said, what about them niggas you locked up for weed? What's up with that? You over here kikiing about smoke. Oh yeah, I like to smoke weed. When I'm under cinnamon, you trying to pretend like you smoke the ganja. Sit your ass down, come on. She also said, girl, this person was on death row and the courts had to force you to release the evidence so that he could be all right. And then Kamala was just like, all right. The only answer she could give, which is what I was expecting, is just like, I said what I said and I ain't changing it. She was just like, I stand by my work. I stand by what I've done as AG. I was supposed to do. It was like, oh, girl, okay. So she had no explanation. Basically, girl, I did what I did. I said what I said. Shut the fuck up. Legalize weed. Woohoo! It was just like, it was not adding up. Some of these other people got a chance to speak. Yang got a chance to speak a little bit, but it's becoming clear who is really going to be participating in the last part of these debates in September. According to the New York Times, only 8 people have already made the threshold. They said it's probably going to be 10 to 12, but as of right now, these are the only people who have met the threshold to continue on in the debates. Kamala Harris, of course, Joe Biden, Cory Booker, Pete Buttigieg, Amy, don't know how to pronounce Miss last name. We start with a KL. You know who I'm talking about. Go look her up. Beto O'Rourke, Bernie Sanders, and Elizabeth Warren. So it's just, whoo, I think we're narrowing it down to pretty strong, pretty intense candidates. So we'll see. I'm sure more and more information is gonna come out about these people and we'll just take it as we go. But like I said, make sure you do your research. Make sure you look up people that represent your best interests. Make sure that you are registered to vote. Make sure you take your ass out there and vote or get that shit mailed to you. Do what you got to do, sis. Because we are going to need all the help that we can get, especially if Mueller ass is over here talking about, oh girl, Russia's trying to take advantage of our election systems as we speak. So it's just as we sit here. So yeah, make sure that you hold on to your wigs during this whole political process so that we can have a good election season and a good goddamn evening.